the system shift, building a business that runs without you. Okay. Core message for this section is systems protect time, energy, and peace. So there are 3 core systems that every CRO needs, really every business needs, every credit coach, financial coach needs. And those systems, number 1 would be a client delivery system. So once you consider that, most burnouts happen because you're doing what software should do. So client delivery system, how do you automate that part of the process? What software can you use for your client delivery system? Automate your monthly updates, client progress, change reports. You can do that all with LevelUp Score. So LevelUp Score is a client delivery system that's automated. Okay, so looking at things that you can do like that. Create reoccurring check-ins. Here's what's changed. Here's what's next. Of course, LevelUp Score does that for the consumer. And document each client's journey so your team can pick up where it left off. So this would be your client delivery system. So that's one core system that you should have set up in your business. And remember to always look at it of a system in, can I automate anything in it? Can I assign anything, right? This is the freedom part of systems, okay? Marketing and lead nurture system. So you want to plan your weekly content. You know what I do, and you're seeing it in live action right now. I do a live once a week, and then we break up that content to use throughout the entire week. So I'm not having to do content constantly all day long every day, because I can take a live that's 45 minutes, break it up into 3 long forms, and then break that into a bunch of shorts. Does that make sense? So consider looking at something like that. So your marketing and lead nurture system. Figure out how you can automate follow-ups in that, sending replay links, right? You always will see replay links of my stuff, right? DM prompts, like I asked you guys last week, type in the comments or DM me the word gain and you'll get my workbook, right? Build email automations that educate and lead back to your offer. So it's really important to have that marketing lead nurture. So if a lead comes in and you don't convert them, should that be the end of it? Or should you have different ways that you can continue to communicate with them, providing them real value that also leads back to your original offer, right? I tell people all the time, especially I work with loan officers, and loan officers will refer business to me. And when a client doesn't sign up, I always say, hey, wait, don't worry about it. They're on my lead nurture, and I can probably promise you a year to the date, they'll be back in their regular offer. And it is almost always true. I mean, like a year to the date, right? So consider that you need those lead nurture systems. And then the next one would be the growth and accountability system. So you need to be reviewing your weekly. You need to be reviewing your leads, your conversions, your renewals. Like what is your business actually doing? And I would encourage you in that part of the process, when we're talking about growth and accountability systems, is even having like maybe a 15-minute Friday review where you look at together as a team, or yourself, what worked, what broke, what's next, all right? And then every quarter, I like to do what I call system day. So I take a day off of work, and I usually do it on the weekend. You can do it anytime, just because I don't like any interference. But a system day would be looking at what you have in your business and saying, okay, how can I improve on maybe a system I already created, or where am I needing a system? Where is there something we're just repeatedly doing this thing and we haven't automated, we haven't looked if we needed to eliminate something. How can we now make a system out of that, right? And so I'm constantly looking at that. I interview people a lot. So I interview my clients, I interview my referral sources. And through that, sometimes I'll find that a system needs to be made. So maybe there's a question that a consumer's always asking, and I need a system for that, or I need to put that inside of a system that's already in place because there's a gap in that system. There's a question that's not being answered. And I love to make sure that I'm answering everyone's questions so they don't have to ask me, right? I want the system to answer their questions. I want to alleviate confusion, because then when I do that, then I have less work to do. So creating the systems may seem like more work in the beginning, but I promise you, it will be the thing that gives you your life back, but allows you to grow your business fast, allows you to scale without chaos. I think you'll really see that it's very beneficial. Take the time to do it. It is worth the time to do it. Okay. Another thing I want to remind you about is that freedom formula. Okay. So we talk about automate, delegate, and eliminate. And again, I'm going to say this one more time. We're going to look at systems. Systems here, automate. How much can we automate within that system? How much can we eliminate? What doesn't need to be there? Remember, people are paying you for the simple system, not the complex one. What can we eliminate? And then after we do the automation, the system, the automation, the elimination, now we can look at what can we delegate. Okay. Too often I'll have people call me and they're like, oh, I outsource this and I outsource that because they're delegating all these things. When in fact, when we would do a strategy call, which you guys are welcome to do, you can get on my 15-minute strategy call. We do a strategy call and we're like, you didn't need that VA. For instance, for people who are hiring VAs to do the action plans and send out here's what changed this month, here's what we accomplished this month. Like, you could have LevelUp Score do that. You're going to save money. You don't have to hire someone. You don't have to train anybody. You have the system already there and automate that. So again, really looking at everything you're doing and are you doing at the best of your ability? And can it actually be better by automating it? So, we think about like a VA handling action plans and change reports and things like that. And there's human error in that. They also take more time to do it. They might not do it on the day that it needs to be done because maybe they get sick or maybe they have a bunch to do. And so they're trying to figure out how fast they can get stuff done. Where LevelUp Score is going to automate that, deliver that, no human error. It's going to be on time every time, right? And so consider that when you're looking at this, you're looking at what can be automated, what can be eliminated, and then what can be delegated. So some questions you can ask yourself as you're looking at how you're doing business is, can tech do it for me? Right? Can AI do it for me? Who can take this over for me? Is there a person that needs to take this over? And what no longer deserves your attention? What no longer do your clients need? Again, that elimination part, but also what no longer deserves your time. And maybe that's something that needs to be automated or delegated, right? So an exercise I'd like you to do in this segment is system snapshot audit. So here's how I envision you do it. You have 3 columns. Column number 1 would be daily task I do myself. Column number 2 would be tasks I can delegate or automate. And then column number 3, systems I need to create or improve. And then, like I said, just pick one system at a time to start working on throughout this first week or so that you're working on this. Get that one done first, okay? So if you try to do too much at one time, it gets pretty overwhelming. But I promise you, this is well worth your time. But if you like, what I like to do is the things that I do myself are the things that I feel like I'm the best for that. Now, and I don't want you to get that wrong, like, because we can fall into the trap of like, oh, well, no one can do it as good as me. I don't mean that. I mean that for my business, for instance, I am the creative. I'm the one that says, hey, this is how we need to do this. And I'm in other words, the work on the business person. I'm going to work on the business, not in the business, right? So anything in the business will be stuff that either needs to be automated, delegated, or essentially eliminated, right? And so I don't work in the business. I work on the business because that's where my strong suit is. Yes, I'm really good at working in the business. That's how I built my business. But I'm also really good at creating systems and training and processes and automations so that I don't have to do the thing and actually get done better because I'm not doing it, right? I'm only one person. You're only one person. So think about that too. If you're trying to do all the things, number one, you can't be good at everything you do, right? Somebody's going to be better than you. So when we have this misconception that no one can do it as good as us, that's not necessarily true. If we're doing all things, we're not doing any of them really good. Think about that too. Okay. But then like once you do that, start looking at it and seeing how can you clean this up, right? How can you automate? How can you eliminate? How can you delegate? What systems can you start to put in place? What's the one system that if you solve for that, it's going to help you the most today? Pick that and start working on that. But the ultimate system is you, okay? When your systems are right, your life changes. You stop reacting, you start leading, and you finally have time to think. I cannot tell you how important that is as a business owner to grow my business, that I have time to think. So every morning I do the Millionaire's Morning routine that I talk about in A Millionaire's Journey. But I do that every morning and I really do sit and think. And I'm reading a book now, with Alex Hormozy. I'm reading a couple books at the same time, but I literally sit and think about, and how do I apply that in my business How can I help to grow my business? But if I'm working in my business and before, like I told you before, how to work so many hours, like so many hours, just working in the business, doing the things, I never had time to sit back and think and how to make it better, how to make it easier. How do I give more value to my clients, but also minimize my efforts? Like you don't have time to think about those things if you're just, so look first, make those 3 columns, see what you can eliminate and automate first, so that you have some breathing room to actually think and help to figure out ways to grow your business, how to make systems, how to get things to work better for you, all those things that you really need to do as a business owner. Okay. Freedom isn't found in time off. It's found in control over your time on. So freedom isn't found in your time off. It's actually found in control of your time on. Okay. You don't rise to your goals. You fall to your systems. Every broken system costs you time, money, or peace, or all. You don't build freedom by working alone. You build it by working smarter. Okay. You don't build freedom by working more. You build freedom by working smarter. So that's your systems. That's your delegation, your automation, your elimination, right? Freedom is the result of structure, not escape from it. Freedom is the result of structure, not escape from it. If you want your business to run on autopilot while still delivering impact, still delivering high value to your clients, it starts with one framework at a time. So your next step, audit your freedom fallacy, automate, delegate, eliminate, build one new framework this week, and create one system day per month to review what you got going on, make sure it's still working for you, refine. I always say feedback and refine. Feedback and refine. So if you do want help building your frameworks and systems, if you want that strategy call and you're like, what is the thing I need to do first? I do welcome you to jump on my 15-minute strategy call. So in the replay, we'll put a link up so you can schedule a 15-minute call. Be clear about what you want in that 15-minute call. Do your homework, because it is truly 15 minutes, but I will give you 15 minutes of my time to help you figure out a way, what strategies you need to put in place, what systems you need to put in place, whatever that might be, a strategy call, and we will do together. But please know exactly what you need from me or exactly what questions you have so that we can be very powerful in that 15 minutes. Okay, so I give that to you. The other thing you can do is you can upgrade to a one-on-one call with me where we can spend a little bit more time together. There is a cost to that, or you can jump into the Millionaire's Journey group coaching call where you'll get my journey map that tells you how to get from an idea to $1 million business. All the steps, all the levels, everything's laid out for you. Workbooks are given to you, and you'll be in a private community. And that is $297 to get access to that. And that is until December 31st, because January 1, a whole new price. And I'll be releasing that information here soon. So if you want to be in that beta group, it's $297. You can get started right away. I appreciate you all. I hope this Tuesday top tip has really given you a lot of powerful things to consider. Take the time this weekend and sit down and really look at all these things. Record yourself on Zoom, record your screen, talk out loud what you're doing, and see if you can discover those things that you should be automating, eliminating, or delegating. Your job as a CEO is to work on your business, not in your business. If you can't automate and eliminate, you delegate to the person who can do it at least 80% as good as you. I appreciate you all. Thank you for being here, and I look forward to next week's top tip, which, just so you know, a little tip, next Tuesday, we're going to dive into how to build freedom funnels, automated processes that attract, nurture, and convert without constant effort, and you don't want to miss it. I'll see you next Tuesday.